I have with me Junior Marvin of the Wailers, who are touring the UK. Hi, Junior. Welcome to Leicester.
Oh, thank you so much. I think this is my first concert here.
Is it?
Actually, no, second. I was here last year.
Well, the Wailers
here
originally
last year.
performed in Leicester back in early 70s at the Leicester Polytechnic.
What year? Because I joined the Wailers in '77.
No, it was a bit earlier than that.
Right, so I missed that one.
Junior, but why did you decide to base this tour on performing the full Legend album?
Well, it wasn't our concept. It was what the promoters wanted. And we decided that we would do more than that. We would do songs from Legend and some other classics. Also a couple of new songs to let people know that we have music coming out and that we love them and we love the legacy of Bob Marley and the music of Bob Marley. And we're going to play it and it's going to sound even better than the record.
How did the Legend album, how did that come about?
Legend album is a compilation of hits from Kaya, Rastaman Vibration, Exodus, the classic albums. All of Bob's albums are classic, but what someone did, or Chris Blackwell and his associates, they managed to put together a selection from different albums that really got the people's imagination, and that's apparently the biggest selling album from Bob Marley and the Wailers, along with Exodus, that was voted CD of the 20th century by Time magazine.
How did the band get the name the Wailers?
Well, it's a long story. It was before my time, but from my recollection of Bob, he said, well, they were thinking about, the oppression and all kinds of things that people go through all over the world, and they wanted to represent or be a voice for people who normally no one talks about.
Yeah.
And so they were going to wail, like a wailing sound, a crying sound, a joyous sound. No matter how you think of it, it's a wailing sound, It's like a gong that lasts forever. When you hit it, the sound goes through eternity, never ending, like Alpha and Omega. So wailing is crying out for joy, crying out for sorrow, crying out for love, crying out for people who are not recognized or given opportunity, crying out for people who are starving, crying out for people who have an abundance and don't want to share it, So it has many, many meanings. And as you can see, we live it to the fullest.
Bob's death was obviously a big shock to the world and to the band. How did you guys pick yourself up after that and motivate yourself to carry on?
Well, whenever we think of Bob, we smile,
Yeah.
And we feel motivated and stimulated, and we carry on. And he wished for us to do that. But he did say that when you carry on, make sure it's the highest standard. Otherwise, leave it alone. So we've got good orders, and we're keeping them. And we're honored and happy to be part of the Wailers and to play the music and to have generations, 3-4 different generations, come up and say, oh, play Stir It Up today, or play Three Little Birds, or play Jamming, or I love Could You Be Love, And young kids, babies, it's people friendly, the music, and when it hits you, you feel no pain.
Finally, Junior Marvin, I had the pleasure of chatting with Julian Juju Molly during his recent tour, and he said his greatest musical influence and memory was the way that his father's enthusiasm for his powerful humanitarian music strengthened him. What's your greatest memory and what you miss most about the legendary Bob Marley?
Well, I miss his enthusiasm and his motivation, and he was a workaholic.
Yeah.
Kept his blinkers on, always on the mission, but still having fun and still being humorous, serious but also humorous, and always like trying to do better every time. Like some songs he recorded 5 or 6 times because he never quite felt he got what he wanted out of it.
Yeah.
And as technology got better and techniques got better, he tried again, and eventually most of those songs became hits. So he never gave up on anything, and he was a good guy. He was a very good guy. I like that about him. He was very balanced, very humble, never thought about himself as a superstar, helped everyone who he could possibly help.
Yeah.
And he thought that his job was to bring people of color all together, black, white, green, yellow. He said, if I can't do that in my life, then I don't want this life. My life is to bring people together. My father's a white Englishman, my mother's a black Jamaican African, and my job on earth is to bring people together. And that's what I'm going to do. And he did it. When you hear songs like One Love, Three Little Birds, Redemption Song, I think he fulfilled his mission, but he still had a lot more to offer. But the father runs things,
Yeah.
So we give thanks to Bob, and We're doing it, Bob.
Junior Marvin, it's great that you returned to playing Leicester since Bob Marley and the Wailers performed here at the Leicester Polytechnic 45 years ago. Thank you. Best of luck. One love, bless.
One love. Thanks for support. We love you. And remember, we're here to be for each other. We're here to make life more comfortable for each other. So don't be afraid to help and don't be afraid to share. And remember, positive vibrations.